Remember when being allowed to work remotely like 1 day a week was virtually impossible? Not anymore. And in this video, I'm going to share 4 strategies with you on how to negotiate your own work from home arrangement, whether at your current job or at a new job. Welcome back. And if you're new to this channel, I am Annie Little. I am an ICF certified career coach and a former lawyer. I created this channel for lawyers who are looking for a practical process for finding and landing their ideal job. All right, story time. So way back when I was practicing law in the late aughts and early teens, I literally begged my boutique firm to get Citrix, the remote desktop app, so that I could work from home on the weekends so that I didn't have to drive 45 minutes each way to go into the office to do my job. And I thought, man, how can they say no to this? Like me having access to my documents and my work files 24/7, that can only lead to more billable hours, right? Man, the excuses they had. All of a sudden they were like cybersecurity experts and had all sorts of questions about cloud computing and document storage. False. These were not real concerns of theirs. What was really going on was that they were resisting change. So I never did get a remote desktop before I left the legal profession in 2013. They decided instead to give us all company laptops, the heavy kind. But fast forward nearly a decade, and the thought that a lawyer wouldn't be able to access their work files from anywhere is incomprehensible. Now, the new frontier is remote work arrangements. Prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, work from home arrangements were tolerated by employers when a lawyer had like a sick kid to attend to, or perhaps doctor ordered bed rest during pregnancy, mostly women problems. But coming as no surprise to anyone, when a global pandemic presented an existential threat to these employers' bottom lines, they had no problem embracing work from home. But what these employers didn't anticipate is that the combination of their self-imposed hiring freezes and the elimination of their workers' commutes led to wildly productive lawyers and also lawyer burnout. But that's another rant for another day. But on the bright side, now we have all kinds of data that demonstrates how productive lawyers are when they're working remotely. I know, shocking. In other words, all the old excuses that employers used to prevent their lawyers from working from home on a regular basis were proven to be a bullshit. For example, lawyers aren't as productive at home. False. We don't have the right technology to support a remote workforce. False. Lawyers have to be in the office to foster training, collaboration, and innovation. Oh, really? Is that something that they're going to start doing now? Because that wasn't happening before. False. Hey, why am I telling you all this? Historical context and perspective. Just as remote desktop software became industry standard, so also are remote work arrangements becoming standard in the legal industry. So when you hear your employer telling you that they're returning to full-time in-office work only, you can confidently say, thanks, but no thanks. That may be the way they've always done things, but it's no longer the way that more and more legal employers are doing things. So what does this mean for you in your negotiations? Identify the schedule that you want. So first of all, you need to be very clear on what you want before you go and ask for something. So some things to consider are how you work best. Also, maybe the impact of a commute on your productivity. And not just on your billable time, but think about what you've been able to do, when you were working remotely and did not have to commute. Was that extra time that you were able to put towards sleep, family, personal fitness, These things are all really important and they contribute to your productivity at work. So when I say that you need to be clear on what type of work arrangement you want in advance, what I'm talking about is really getting clear on the reason why, or the reasons why it's important to you to be able to work remotely at least some days of the week, if not all. Secondly, allow for compromise. Okay, so this is just classic negotiation. You want to give yourself some room for compromise, but you don't want to agree to something that doesn't fit with your needs, values, priorities. So given your why behind why you want to work remotely, I want you to figure out what the minimum remote work schedule is that you're willing to agree to. And then I want you to ask for more. And this allows you to come down from your ask and still get what you want, and possibly even more. So you get what you want, they feel like they were able to get you to concede on something. It's a win-win. The third strategy is to know your audience. So if your employer never allowed any kind of remote work arrangements pre-pandemic, probably not a great idea to ask for a full-time remote work arrangement right off the bat. Now, if there were any problems that came up with remote work during the pandemic, this could be a great opportunity for you to propose potential solutions. At a minimum, it's good form to at least acknowledge that there were some issues that can come up with remote work, but spoiler alert, no arrangement is perfect. Also, consider the history of the glacial rate of change in the legal industry. Oftentimes, it's not the thing that you're asking for that presents a problem to these employers. It's more just a general resistance to change and a fear of relinquishing control and what that could lead to. So essentially, they're coming from a place of fear. And so when they come to you with some flimsy excuse as to why a remote work arrangement just isn't feasible or why yours isn't feasible, all I'm saying is to maybe have like a scintilla of compassion for them, in the sense that you're asking them to make a big change for them, even though you know it's worth it and that it's probably going to be better for everyone in the long run. And the fourth thing, stay strong. I want you to feel confident in holding your bottom line. So when you start to feel a little shaky, like you're not standing on solid ground in what you're asking for, return to the big why behind you asking for this remote work arrangement. That's what's really going to ground you and keep you focused on holding your line. So really think about, how will returning to the office full-time negatively impact you? Think physically, emotionally, mentally. And if your employer isn't willing to entertain a work from home arrangement, you can rest assured that plenty of legal employers now do. And if you find yourself in a position where you need to find an employer who's more friendly to remote work arrangements, you should check out my free masterclass. It's called 3 Strategies for Uncovering Any Lawyer's Transferable Skills. I've linked it in the description below. When you go through the masterclass and you see just how valuable your existing skills are, you're gonna have all the confidence you need to find a job where they value remote work.